Oh, hi, what's going on, everybody? It's Adrian from over here at Pipe Dream Hookah, and I am incredibly frustrated. This is the third time now I've tried to shoot this simple Fakher Series review, and like I've said 2 times before, and you guys can't see it because I don't know how to use my new equipment, it's going to be an Fakher's Cinnamon. Now, really quickly, before we dive into this quick Fakher Series number 9 review on Fakher's Cinnamon, I just wanted to point out that I haven't done an Fakher Series review in like over a month, which is actually kind of a long time because this is supposed to be coming out every other week. And there's 2 big reasons for that, and the first one is because I'm incredibly disorganized and sometimes forget to schedule things properly. But the second reason, and honestly the main reason that you haven't seen one, is because I actually just got some new recording gear and set lighting and stuff like that. Hopefully it translates because I'm still learning how to use the equipment at hand. Like, hopefully you can hear me, because last time I recorded this, the big reason it didn't work is because I forgot to turn the shotgun microphone on. So we'll see if that works out in editing before I get this out to you guys. And I'm kind of in a hurry because I'm about to go on live for the AM Hookah Podcast in just under an hour as well. Oh, and I'm planning a bunch of stuff for the channel. I'm actually getting ready to start cranking out a lot more reviews per week, per month. You're going to get a lot more content from me. There's going to be a few reasons for that, but I'm going to be pushing a lot more stuff out on this channel. So for any of you guys who look forward to content like this, I hope you're pumped for that. But let's move right on into this review and keep it as prompt as possible, because I guess this camera only records for like 13 minutes before it cuts off because of some weird DSLR stuff. It's a really old DSLR camera. Big thanks to Kyle for letting me borrow this, by the way. You know who you are. All that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into this Fakher review. As usual, we're just going to go over the flavor, the scent, and the cloud output of this tobacco, as well as a few other minor details that may go into the performance, and then we'll rate it, and then that'll be that, and then we'll cut to the end of the video, and then you guys will be off the hook, and hopefully this gets uploaded Monday night right after the AM Hookah Podcast is finished airing. But as usual, let's go ahead and start with the scent of this stuff. That's really sweet. Okay, so what I'm getting from the scent of this tobacco, there are going to be some cinnamon notes, and they're pretty prominent, although they're kind of drowned out by this really kind of a sweet, syrupy flavor. I'm not sure where that's coming from. Maybe it's just because they wanted to make it stronger and they thought one of the ways to do that was to make it really sweet. But it is very syrupy. It smells like it's going to be very sweet. I'm not really looking forward to that if that's the case. I might already know because I've smoked a crap out of this, but for the sake of the review, I'll say I don't know yet. And just to compare it really quick, I do have some McCormick, who cares what the brand is, ground cinnamon, and I just wanted to kind of compare it. And the scent of this stuff, given that cinnamon doesn't have a super robust smell on its own, but this smells much more appetizing. It's much less sweet. It's much more spicy. I really like the scent on this stuff, and I have had some tobaccos that smell a little bit more like that. More on that later. But before we move on to how that scent is going to translate into the taste of the tobacco, let's go ahead and check out everyone's favorite thing, and that's going to be the cloud output. Really quickly, you're going to notice I have a wing cover because I just tried to record this review and it didn't work out because I timed out and don't know where I timed out. So just so everyone knows, I'm using a wing cover because the clothes are pretty died down. But the setup is going to be the aviator stem with my Thunder Slim Hose with this Kaya Shisha handle on it. I actually really like this handle. And then on top, you can't see it, I guess I'll just show you, I've got the Goodfella V3 bowl on top with 3 titanium flats. And if you want to see how I packed it, I'll leave a video down in the description below. I'll just take you straight to this sweet little video I did of how to pack a Fakher into a funnel bowl. And if you're going to use an Egyptian bowl, there's a video for that as well. I guess I'll drop that in the link along with the funnel bowl packing method. But let's move on to the cloud content. Okay, so obviously the cloud content that I'm pulling out of this stuff is going to be pretty much par for the course for all Fakher. Hopefully the clouds look a little bit bigger. I've got a little bit of a different lighting setup, so hopefully it reflects a little bit better and I can get those clouds not quite like Rob from Dude Where's My Hookah, but hopefully a little bit closer. I don't know how he gets clouds like that. I think he's just better at hookah than I am. But yeah, this is going to be pretty much par for the course for any of the standard line Fakher stuff. I haven't seen a whole lot of variation from the cloud content from the original line. So let's move on to the most important thing when it comes to analyzing any shisha tobacco, and that's going to be the flavor profile. As usual, over on this channel, we're going to do it on both the inhale and the exhale, as I find that the flavor profiles between the two tend to differ just a little bit. So let's go ahead and start with the inhale. Okay, so unfortunately, this tobacco does an awesome job at translating the scent of the tobacco into the flavor. And when I say unfortunately, I mean that kind of sickening sweet syrup scent I was picking up is translating to the flavor profile on the inhale of this tobacco. I am getting those cinnamon notes, and they're somewhat accurate. I don't know what an artificial cinnamon really tastes like, so I can't say whether it's natural or artificial, but I'm leaning towards artificial because of how sweet it is, and it coats the back of your throat in a really weird way that I really haven't had with any other Fakher flavor, except for maybe the mango flavor kind of did that a little bit, and that was a very artificial flavor, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But before we can give a final critique on what I think of the flavor profile, we're going to have to move on to the exhale as well. Okay, so there is a change in the flavor profile just a little bit. I'm going to preface this with this tobacco is not really burning hot at all. It's actually burning at a very nice temperature. It's performing pretty well. But there seems to be this vaguely burnt flavor that only pops up in the exhale for some reason. I don't know where it's coming from, and it doesn't taste like the tobacco's burning. It tastes like there's an actual burnt flavor that's kind of latent in the background of the flavor. It really only comes out in the exhale, like I said. So I'm just gonna cut right to the chase and rate this stuff for you guys at a 3 out of 7. It's not gonna go lower than the 3 out of 7 because this stuff does perform with any of the other Fakher original line series stuff. It's gonna give you great clouds, and the scent and the flavor are very similar. However, that's not necessarily a good thing because I don't think that the flavor or scent on this tobacco are very good at all. Really quick before I let you guys off the hook, I do want to put you onto some actual good cinnamon flavors. Now all these flavors do have mint in them. I don't know what that's all about, but Ugly, they make a flavor I think it's called Cool Cinnamon Blast, and that's going to be a very minty flavor with a little bit of cinnamon in it, and you pick up on the mint first, cinnamon kind of comes at the back end, but it is a very good natural cinnamon flavor. I would definitely recommend trying that out. And then you've got Hayes' Sinful Mint, and it's going to be a lot like the Ugly flavor, except for you got less mint and more of that cinnamon flavor. For any of you guys who have tried that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The cinnamon is a little bit more pronounced, and it does tend to heat up a little bit faster than a lot of the other Hayes flavors, but it's a solid flavor. And last but not least, I would just highly recommend Trifecta's Dark Leaf Cool Cinnamon Gum. That flavor is awesome. It's going to heat up really fast. Again, I think that's something that cinnamon flavors do, but they did an awesome job with that flavor, so I would recommend all of those different cinnamon hookah tobaccos. Okay, so that's just going to about wrap it up for this review on the Fakher Cinnamon. If you didn't catch my drift, I would not recommend picking this stuff up, unfortunately. So far, all the Fakher flavors have at least been somewhat good. This one, not so much. I wouldn't even recommend it in a mix, just because all those cinnamon notes it has to offer to a different mix that you might be using it in. It also introduces those really sweet kind of syrupy notes, and I don't like that at all. Maybe you do. If that's something you're into, give it a shot, but I wouldn't recommend it. That said, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna go record the AM Hookah Podcast. I will see you guys probably Wednesday, and as always, happy smoking.